Hey, Deborah. Hey, Fanny. How you doing? Clean my garage today. Hey, Tisha. Pretty good. Sucks not being able to go down there. Now the state's on a lockdown for all through May. It sucks I can't go down there, but I think it's the right thing to do. Hey, Melanie, how you doing? Just gave Daisy a haircut. So other than videos I've already had and phone interviews, a whole another month. What are you gonna do? Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Hey, Starlight. Cleaned my garage today, gave Daisy a haircut. She hates getting her haircut. She's really good about it, Hey, Marnie, how you doing? She puts up with it, but she hates it. She's got this weird, hair. It's like 3 layers, coarse, medium, and fine. It's hard to cut. It's not like the cutter gets a good bite on it. You always got to be pulling the skin tight, and trying to hold it. How you guys doing? Hey, Patricia, how you doing? You wouldn't believe all the crappy emails I get from people saying they're going to unsubscribe if I don't start doing more interviews. Hey, Erica, how you doing? Hey, Love Bush Beer. I tell them, unsubscribe, man. Be my guest. Hey, Smelly, how you doing? I heard from Ebony. I was going to do a phone interview. It just didn't work out time-wise. Yeah, she'll bite the hell out of people. That's the only reason I started doing it, because nobody wanted to do it around here. Nobody wanted to do it 50 miles from here either. I'll tell you, $50 is a good deal. Hey, Kaylee, how you doing? Good, Snowy. Pretty good. Straighten out my garage. Yeah, they're not the same though, and I've already interviewed her. I mean, I'll do it because I know she needs the money, and it's interesting to hear from her what's going on down there. I think I'm gonna probably hit the road after this band's up. I don't know, I might not. This really has screwed this spring up. So I know it's real slow down there. And basically that's all I've been doing. I'll tell you something weird that happened. I've kept in touch with Calvin time to time. And basically, I kept in touch with him even after there was really no reason to interview him anymore. Basically, he told me everything he could. And I don't know whether he did it or somebody else did it, or he's having some mental problems, but I got a copy of a post he made someplace where I was trying to exploit him and to sell his interviews to Patreon. I mean, he did start getting out there a little bit, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But he knows better than that, and that could have been a doctored up post. I just wondered if you guys heard anything about it. I texted him a few times and never heard from him, so I don't know what he's up to. Yeah, it is a mockingbird. Yep, you're right. No, actually, it's a blue jay. Blue jay. You can really hear that, huh? Well, it's sensitive. And let's see what else is new. YouTube's come up with a bunch of new rules now on your on videos. It's really getting kind of turned into the Disney Channel, which I understand in a way. I don't know. I didn't talk to her. I put them on their doorknob. Usually they're home, but I think her husband might have got the kids this weekend. I'm not sure. I know they were gone later in the day, so I'm assuming yes. Yeah, that's all right. I thought it was a mockingbird first too. Yeah, Cracker is with you. That'll be really disappointing if that's true, because I never had any issue with Calvin, and he is into this kind of conspiracy theory and the government, but he knows that there's no way in hell I'd do anything that would help him. So I don't know what the deal is. Last time we actually conversed was through text back in January when he had a blood pressure issue. Yeah, I do have kind of some allergies. Yep. Hey Daniel, how you doing? So I don't know what's up with Calvin. He thinks he's got his opinions on things, and I don't challenge him on it. If he thinks he's really anti-Obama and that the government's trying to kill old people, okay, I'll listen to it. But I would be surprised if he would actually say anything like that about me, because there was never an issue at all. But I'd say maybe January, February, it just got to where I didn't hear from him anymore. That had happened before, but it was usually because of some health issues. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say he's probably mad at me because, for some reason, because he would have normally contacted me by now. So I don't know what the deal is. With him. Hope he's doing all right. He does have some pretty heavy health problems. I texted him this morning and last night. And besides, he knows full well what I do with his interviews. And, why would I try to sell him to Patreon? It just doesn't make any sense. Is that somebody copied it? I didn't know where it was posted. Probably that damn kook down in Flint. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Hey, Crystal, how's it going? Man, I'll tell you, it's easy to get burned out in these idiots when you have a channel. I think every nut job in the world just goes on there and figures they're entitled to, run your channel how they see fit. And if you don't do it, they get pissed. Crazy. I don't think he was. I don't really know. It looked like something he posted someplace else. I don't know that he ever talked to her. It's hard to say. I mean, there's somebody out there that doctors up pretty good emails and videos like that kook down in Las Vegas. She's always doing stuff like that. No kidding, Erica. Good for you. Did you do it yourself, list it yourself, or did you go to that real estate agent? Yeah, Krispy Kreme, man. They bear. It takes a huge market for them to stay in business, and they need to supply a bunch of gas stations and party stores. It wouldn't make it. I don't expect that Tim Hortons to make it. Hey, Hoodie, how you doing? I don't think they will. It's a tough business. I really feel bad for these restaurants now. They, our state, our lockdown is going to the end of the month. But I noticed today that there were restaurants open that were not doing carry out before. So I'll have to go on and reread what the deal is in Michigan, because I don't know why they'd be open now if they weren't doing carryouts before. I mean, can you go in now, or what? Anybody know what's going on in Michigan? That's good feeling, Erica. There's nothing worse than having property that you can't get rid of. I told you guys I use that. It's actually a form of topical chemotherapy. It's for light-skinned guys like me that got a lot of sunburns when they were a kid. Eldera and Floricel. And I was going to use it 3 weeks, but I'll tell you, I only used it for 2. And my whole face looks like, you know how you see those anatomy charts where they peel off the skin and it's all red? It's that kind of red. And I notice when I go someplace, people like really look. It's like, what is wrong with this guy? I mean, it looks like I got 3rd-degree burns in my whole face. And then that'll be that way for a week or 2. And then new skin grows. It's about a 6-week deal. Yeah, good for you, Eric. I mean, that is a good feeling. That's a nice feeling. You know, I got a bunch of gifts and stuff to hand out, but I just don't want to do that down there. And as far as I know, they're still cracking down. It's funny down, around up around Traverse City, some places down around Detroit, they were writing people tickets for non-essential stuff. But I know in the UP, it was like nobody seemed to be getting bothered. And it certainly doesn't look like the Amish are paying too much attention to this. They're still getting together on Sundays and their groups together. And evidently, none of them have it. I see there's an Indian casino up in the UP that's going to open in a week no matter what. So we'll see how that goes. That's interesting. That's a sovereign nation. So I'm wondering how the challenges will be with that. Yeah, Barb, how you doing? It's a topical form of chemotherapy, actually. What happens is you'll get like basal cell, squamous cell, actinic keratosis, basically just sun damage for years. And it doesn't go away. You can either get the Mohs procedure and get it cut out surgically. You can use some topical acid, TCA, or you can use this. It's a prescription. It works really well, but I mean, most people, it doesn't really sell well because no one wants to look like that for 6 weeks. I mean, it's significant. I mean, it looks like what is wrong with this guy? I mean, it doesn't look like a sunburn. It looks like there's something seriously wrong with this guy. I don't really care. It's not going to affect my modeling career. Hey, Golik, how you doing? Yeah, what happened with those militia guys and the pictures of their guns? What happened on that deal? I saw them all lined up in front of the Capitol. What happened on that, Rita? Did they arrest them or do nothing, or was it a photo shoot or what? Daisy, you down there, huh? You down there, Daisy? Hey, Pamela. Yep, doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I know Chris pretty well. I think Cheese is a well-run outfit, but I don't really like their pizza that much. You want to go get a good pizza, go up to the Angry Oven in St. Helens. Just opened back in the spring. Are you familiar with that? Oh my God. Is this just lately, Barb? Sorry about that. Wow. Poor thing. Hi, you a lot cooler now? Good. You are cooler, huh? Good. Good girl. Feeling good, huh? Good girl. Yeah. You feeling good? Huh? Yeah, I don't like any of them really, to tell you the truth. I think G's is okay. It's terrible heated up and the crust is too thick. Oh my God, that's terrible. I had a friend of mine, I've got a video uploaded. Long story short, we were really good friends. He retired, he was a priest, and then some priest and the bookkeeper were screwing and they ripped the place off for $1.5 million. So they called him out of retirement. He got to do a little traveling, went back, got that place on its feet. Was off about 6 months. Called me and one night said, "Hey, I'm getting night sweats." He was like 72. He died 9 years ago this April. So I took him to the doctor, and it's no big deal. They said no, they weren't really sure. Did tests. About 2 weeks later, came back and said that he had a spot in his lungs. Went in there, did that. Flew around. There's a rich guy chartered us an airplane. Blah blah blah. Went to Cleveland Clinic. Long story short, after about 6 months when this initially started, I was with him, and he said to the doctor, "I want you, the oncologist, I want you to, be straight with me." He said, I will be straight with you. 3 months with no treatment and 6 months with. And he said, "There's no way around that." He said, "Well, these are large studies, and this is what the results have proven over thousands of cases. We will fight it aggressively." They really don't tell you you're going to be dead in 6 months. They kind of allude to it, but they'll throw in spontaneous remission and clinical trials, and you don't want to die. I mean, when you're looking at the old Grim Reaper down that barrel, it's a lot different than just being depressed and talking shit, not wanting to live anymore. When you have a medical professional lay that out to you in a professional way, that's a real heart stopper. When I was sitting there, he's such a good guy, and I wasn't tight with my parents, but I was tight with this guy. We were really good friends. I actually felt like throwing up for like 3 seconds. They I'm trying to digest this info, and I'm looking at him, and I'm hoping they're gonna come up. But he died in 5 months, actually. I have a video up of him and another famous priest. It's terrible, man. He suffered like hell. No, it has nothing to do with it. I wouldn't say it has nothing to do with it. It's basically gene expression. You never know how your genes are going to express as you get older. I mean, babies are born with cancer. They find all sorts of cancer in wildlife. And it isn't because they're drinking out of contaminated streams. I mean, there are cancer-causing agents, but it also happens naturally. How about the people that get COPD that never smoked? Yeah, but chemo, that's really a bad argument people make. More people are alive now because of chemo than ever. Childhood leukemia is basically non-existent. So is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And it's all because of chemotherapy. Chemo's kept more people alive than anything else. And they're constantly tweaking it. Yeah, it kills good cells, but you have no alternative. It isn't like you're just going to roll the old roulette wheel on chemo and hope for the best. It's informed consent. Everybody knows what's going to happen if you don't do the chemo. So you might as well do it. Yeah, sorry about that, Barb. God. Yeah, shit. It's just so humbling and, not fair. You know, you see these Kardashians and these crazy, no good, bad people just live these luxurious lifestyles, and then you see a decent person just get nailed with that. I think the same thing when these storms come through, like Nashville, that tornado. You never really considered getting, killed by the weather. Yeah, miracles do happen. There is spontaneous remission. I mean, I know I'd be clinging on to it if it came down to it. It does happen. When I was a kid, I had a guy that was really kind to me growing up. My dad was a drunk that worked all the time. My mom was a boozer too. My buddy got killed on a motorcycle as a junior in high school. And the dad was always a miserable son of a bitch. I mean, we'd talk for a year, not talk for a year, that kind of thing. But I felt that I owed him for being a kid. And I was living down in Florida at the time. And a guy called me and said, hey, Nick Stavich was his name. He said, did you know Nick's got cancer? And he didn't have anybody. He was a miserable son. He looks like the Godfather. And I hadn't talked to him in a while. So I called him up, said, hey, look, let's just not argue. How about I come up there and we'll check out some, plan Bs. He said, that'd be great. Went up there for a couple of days. Long story short, checked into everything. And I ended up ordering him some Cancel, Cancel. And it was a money back guarantee. It was a couple $100 back then. That was 25 years ago. He did end up dying a couple months later, but man, that guy wanted to live, even though he claimed he wanted to die for like the last 20 years after his son had been killed. Hey, serious, melodic, is that true on Walmart? I've thought of that before. Do you have any like factual data on that, or is that just a bar river floating around town? Yeah, thank you, Rita. Yeah, chemo, yeah. It's nobody wants to take it, but it's consistently getting better. It's a real art. Good for you, Rita. Congratulations. Good. Yeah, side effects, they're a distant second when you're still amongst the living. Yeah, once it metastasizes, god damn, it's so bad. My God, what do you do? I don't know what you do when you get like a death sentence like that. What do you do? Just like walk around in a haze? That does happen. Once in a while they're off, Barb, but most of the time it's pretty damn accurate. Yeah, it's 4-stage, yep. I've used the same accountant for like 40 years. And I was friends with I hate to even say this, but I had the same thing happen with his secretary as I've had with a couple of these women on, there have been moderators that I've cut off. Same thing happened with her. She was interested, and I was always really nice to her, took her out to dinner. And finally, it was just, I had to lay it out. It's like, I think you're nice and everything, but I'm not really interested in like a relationship. You know what she did? I'm not shitting you on this. She said that my income tax was getting filed and it wasn't. She said they were using an electronic signature. 3 years, she just let the shit pile up in her office. Didn't even tell her boss. Well, anyway, long story short, I hadn't talked to her in quite a while. But she just died. She got diagnosed with breast cancer in December and died first week of March. This CBD, it seems there's some pretty compelling stories out there. I don't know why somebody wouldn't be honest about it. I think if I got like 4-stage or something, I think I'd go out. I'd get all the drugs I could. I'd spend it all on marijuana and psychedelics and morphine. Is she in pain at all because of this? Hey, Rick, how you doing? Yeah, pretty much same up here. Yeah, I think I've had this problem for quite a while, and any advice is welcomed. I don't know what in the hell I could have done better. It's not like I was a jerk. Now, I will tell you, on a couple of the moderators that I've had over the past, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Is they were doing a great job moderating, really liked them. And they ended up contacting people. You know, you switch emails with people and saying that, you know, I was ignoring them when I was in Detroit, and that I wasn't calling them back. Well, you know, I wasn't. And I wasn't because the relationship was they were moderators. They were doing a good job, and that's all I wanted it to be. And there's a point where it comes to where, I don't know, maybe I could get better. I mean, I don't know what the hell to do because I've had this happen to me a lot. I don't know. I don't see how I can understand this happening in high school, but I don't understand it happening at my age. Oh, so much pain. Oh my God. Why don't you start a GoFundMe for her, Barb? Make sure you use her social security number, or it's a pain in the ass. She'll be, you know, if she doesn't live, well, because that GoFundMe is a pain in the ass. Yeah, right. That way, I mean, from what I read, it's a lot more expensive from a dispensary, but you know what you're getting. Yeah, I mean, I never had it happen in like too much of my dating life or when I was married. Of course, I still am married. It was always like normal breakups or, you know, you go your separate ways. It was nothing like this craziness. Hey, Cinderella, how you doing? Good to see you post earlier today. Yeah, I mean, it's really, man. I mean, I don't want to plead ignorance, but I was nice to those people. Oh, okay. Yeah, but maybe she would want to like just go on a vacation or something, Barb, or just something, anything, just to see people gave a shit. I mean, you could post it on all my videos and in a chat. Yeah, you might be right on that, Erica. Hey, Mari, how you doing? Yeah, it is a beautiful day. You know, something I learned, Bev, on that is that, you know, I've known about 5 people, and I didn't think this was possible. I thought that you had to be terminal to be in hospice, but I've known of 5 instances where people have tricked hospice, basically just used them for a good high for about 2 or 3 months. I didn't even think that was a possibility. Yeah, I've tried everything, man. I tell them right off the bat, you know. And I have a good relationship with my wife. I mean, I talk to her. She's been living with some guy 15 years. Like, not bad at all. I think we're going to be going our separate ways, though, for good here pretty soon because her mother died. And that's what kept her from being able to afford my half of the place she lives in. So I'm not going to like push it, but I got an idea that we'll be heading down separate trails. Oh, okay, Murray. Oh, sorry about that. Good, Kara. How you doing? Well, happy birthday and congratulations. It's very difficult to do. It's funny you should say that because I was thinking today I was going through looking for some stuff to upload. I'm sorry about all the old videos, but it's all I can do now. You know, I just go through. I don't even feel like doing it, to tell you the truth. I don't know why I do. But I was thinking today on what a dismal and poor success rate it is. Although I've never claimed to go down to Detroit and do any good. I just say, how you doing? If you need something, let me know, and that's it. I mean, I'm really not capable of doing what their doctors and family members and the criminal justice system has failed at. I mean, I would help them, but I'm probably the least equipped guy. But it's just, I go through stages where I just get burned out, you know? Yeah, I think hospice is good overall. I'll tell you hospice, and I'm not knocking them. I think Even Obama knew better than to fool with hospice. But I'll tell you this. I saw some discovery in a lawsuit one time that I was working on. And I'll tell you, you would not believe what these hospice providers, profit and nonprofit, charge the American public for their services. It is absolutely ridiculous. Hospice gets the trifecta. They get paid up the yin-yang from the federal government. That's number one. A lot of times they get the estate from the person that they took care of. And then when the person dies, in lieu of flowers, they get contributions in their name to the American Cancer Society or to hospice. They get it all three ways. It's super lucrative. Yeah, heroin's horrible in the sense of what it does to someone's life. Yeah, happy birthday to you. Hey, Superwoman, how you doing? Good. Yeah, hanging in there. Superwoman, did you see any of that crap that supposedly Calvin Murray is writing? I don't believe that he would do something like that. Although I have tried to get a hold of him since January. He hasn't returned my call or text. But if you see anything on that, let me know, yeah? I mean, that doesn't quite add up. It's it is kind of a racket, but I do think they're necessary. And when you're looking the old Grim Reaper in the eye, it's nice to go out and being comfortable. Oh no, hospices. I'm not even saying they're bad. I'm just saying the average person doesn't realize what they charge. Yeah, it's super expensive. There's no other facet of society that would get away with doing that. But nobody wants to, they handle hospice with kid gloves. They are talented people, hospice, yeah. Yeah, it is a little hoarse today. I have a little bit of allergies, and I was cleaned out my garage today, which I've been dreading. I'm going to start working out again pretty soon. The health club won't even open up for another month. You know, it sucks to get such a late start at certain activities. Oh, okay, Superwoman. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Zach, how you doing? Yeah, but I'm telling you, nobody gets it like hospice, Bev. It's unbelievable. Well, that's the thing, Jenny. I know people that have duped hospice before. I had a buddy of mine whose sister was always in and out of the hospital, you know, hypochondriac. They thought, well, the last time she went in, she was in 3 days and died. She was 52. So evidently she was on to something. But long story short, when she died, my buddy went over there, you know, a girlfriend found her. And there were just tons of bags of morphine laying all over the place. And they were all there from hospice. I mean, you think they'd check to make sure that stuff wasn't laying around, or they wouldn't give you any new until you use the old. Oh, good for you, Cinderella. Congratulations. That'd be a fun time. Let me know when you're getting in there. I'll send you a housewarming gift. I've actually got some stuff to be nice for a house, Cinderella. You know, I'll send you something. The difference is basically for-profit and non-profit. You better believe they send a card every year. They want to keep in touch. And, you know, maybe they're just nice people. I'm always so skeptical of anything like that. Yeah, okay, Rita. Yeah, I believe that. Hey, Shelly, how you doing? Well, you know, they're not going to open up Michigan till the end of May. Honestly, I mean, I'm not a Whitmer fan in Michigan. But actually, I like her. I think she's got huge balls for a novice governor to come in and do what she did early on like that. Actually, I'm going to send her a letter, actually. I think she's done such a great job. I think it's necessary. I do, man. I mean, if you're a science buff and you understand viruses and epidemic and pandemics and how you contract this, and they're finding out more and more, it's the right thing to do. It is a beautiful day, Monica, you're right. Oh, huge. Look it up. Google it. Look up the difference of hospice for profit and nonprofit. They both make huge bank. They get it from the feds, the family, and the friends of the family member, and the person they took care of. Oh, interesting, Jenny. Yeah, I believe that, huh? When I was living in Chicago, I played in a lot of basketball leagues, and there was a guy that was a nurse. He was telling me there was a heavy-set black girl, not that that means anything, that everybody loved, always laughing, joking. She stole a bag of morphine one night, went home, set up a drift, and ate 2 gallons of ice cream, and they found her dead in her lazy boy chair the following morning. Yeah, I think Whitmer's got big balls. I think she's doing a great job. I think she's got a good sense of humor too. Well, she's a new governor. I mean, there's nothing you're going to do about that. I mean, if you understand how this stuff is contacted and look at the other countries, I mean, what's she supposed to do? Let people go shopping and go to sporting events? You already can see it. It is flattening as a result of distancing. What don't you agree about? I will agree the fish and boat thing was odd. But it's people are so damn dumb, you have to legislate their best interests because they're too stupid to take care of it themselves. That's what I think, Melodic. I think they just don't get it. Yeah, I am too, Murray. I agree. Yeah, I wouldn't have voted for her in a million years, but I think she's done a good job. I mean, she's a new governor. I mean, and she got on the bandwagon early on when they're twiddling their thumbs about what to do. I think it's 2020, right? Hindsight. If you could be critical about anything, and there is a theory out there, and that is that there's two big airports in the country that have direct flights from China and back, and one's Detroit, and those weren't stopped until very late. It will, Shelley. The more things that open up, the more the virus will spread. Biden's not going to do shit. I'm glad they got him. He's not going anywhere. And all politicians do that, but I don't think it has anything to do with safeguards she's put in place to keep people from getting the damn virus. I mean, you can argue a political angle on that, but it'd be much easier for her if she said, all right, you morons, just go ahead and wear a mask on your face and do whatever you want. She didn't do that. Oh, yeah, it's a tough job to being a governor nowadays. Oh, okay, Cinderella. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows how you get it. They're still dropping like flies down there in Detroit. The aggravating thing is like, when I'm out doing photography and stuff, you go down to Flint, go to Detroit, Saginaw, go by a party store. Nobody's got a mask on, standing right next to each other, buying cigarettes, booze, and lottery tickets, all the way up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's a joke. So it's hard for me to get real mad at these crazies that show up to protest. Every damn party store and every bad part of every town is open, and not one thing has changed since this pandemic has come around. I still don't really buy into that the party stores are essential for alcoholics. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's next? Yeah, pretty much, Eric, you're right. Yeah, that's a good question. That's going to be tested. I don't know. My guess would be no, but we'll see when it's tested. I think it's more of a federal response. Oh, okay, Jenny. Huh. No, really? Huh. I wonder why. Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the healthcare people that have got this stuff. You look at some of the young people that have it. Some of the stories in the paper of babies getting it. They battled that for like a month. Oh, a lot of cuckoo people. Yeah. I don't. I wouldn't vote for him either, but I think he's done a good job. I mean, look at Georgia for God's sakes. I mean, is there an IQ test related to being a politician down there? It just reeks the old South. I mean, does that governor have any idea what's going on? You get some clippers. I just groomed Daisy. It looks like an amateur job too. Oh, interesting, Marty. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, this sounds terrible, but I get a kick out of seeing some of the working girls down there in Michigan Avenue. Hepatitis is a big deal. STDs are through the roof. HIVs all over the place, and they're all worried that they're going to catch the flu. Isn't that crazy? Wow. I see more and more pets are testing positive. Oh, well, yeah, unemployment. That's going to be interesting on that how that whole thing. Our dollar's already taken a hit. I mean, you just can't print money as a way to try to pay bills. I mean, I don't want to just make stuff up, but the economic impact. They've canceled these big air shows, which if you're not into aviation, you think what's the big deal? It's like a rich guy sport, which is kind of true. But I'm telling you, those places, the minute that thing ends during the course of a year, they've got 20 people working full time setting it up for the next year. So to have Sun and Fun get canned in Lakeland, Florida, was supposed to be April, and now Oshkosh that got canned. It's just, I mean, it's one thing to be closed a couple months, like in a northern location where I'm at. If you own a fast food place, it's not the end of the world. The real money is in June through November. But when you're in a business and you're dependent on one big fell swoop at an annual event, and you don't have that, you're looking at 2 years before any cash comes in for what you do for your income. And they can send all the stimulus checks they want, but your credit card company still want to be paid, and so does your mortgage. Yeah, see, that's that. I haven't really taken the time to figure out the funding. One thing that I can't get a straight answer on, and that is if you're driving through West Branch where I live, and a city cop pulls you over for 10 over, you're getting a ticket through a city ordinance. They're getting most of the money from that ticket that's written. If you're in downtown West Branch and a state trooper writes you a ticket, you're getting a ticket from a state law, and the state gets more revenue from that ticket. I can't get a straight answer, even though it's a state law, but it's enforced by local jurisdictions. When a Detroit cop writes a $1,000 ticket, who's getting the majority of that grand? I can't find it anywhere. Take care, bro. Sorry about that. Let me know if put a GoFundMe or something. Jeez, I don't know what to tell you, man. The best of with it. Sorry about that. Daisy feels so good. I shaved her hair. You feel good, hon? Good. Oh, gotcha. Now, Mary, you may know this. You may know this. I went up and got a lottery ticket this morning, and I noticed that there were quite a few restaurants open that were not open during the takeout. And I know you can't go in there and dine. So the question is, what has changed to make an incentive for restaurants wanting to be open when people can't go in and dine when they were not doing carryout before? Does anybody have an answer to this? Yeah, Heather, I hate to say it, but it's a different world now. It's not like, I mean, it's almost like nobody's going to ever pay anything off anymore. It's not like you buy a house for 30,000 and sell it for 300,000 after you've lived in it 30 years. Society has changed so much. Goodbye, Erica. I don't know how these young kids start now. Of course, you never knew any better. It's different. When I went to college, I was always working, I always had a new car. It was like no big deal. But at the time, tuition was subsidized by the state and the federal governments. Well, that's why college is so damn expensive now, because all that free money with subsidies is out the window. They're trying to keep the doors open by tuition alone, and that's hard to do. Yeah, it really is. I mean, college, man, you'd have to really look at that nowadays. Everybody wants their kid to be a college graduate, but to get a Mickey Mouse degree like I've got in criminal justice. When I had a degree in criminal justice, it was a big deal. I could have got jobs anywhere. It was like 80 I graduated. I mean, they thought you were like, super educated. Well, everybody's got one now, but back then it was a big deal, but it was cheap and desirable. Now it'd be no problem coming out of a college with a $125,000 loan for that bullshit degree. You'd have to be out of your damn mind. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that too, but I'm glad that they did, Cinderella. I'm glad they did. Good for you. Yeah, tuition's ridiculous. Yeah, the essential workers for tuition waiver, but the little that I've read on that, it's like, they give you 2 credit hours for free. You're not going to college for free over this. Besides, who's paying for that anyway? Yeah, Zach, I would agree with that. Yeah. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, trades, but if you think about it, Heather, if you look at like new housing and new construction, it's still in the tank. Remember the days you drive around, people are building new houses? Same with people buying new cars. It's not happening. No kidding, Jenny. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you're like ever going to get a house and stuff and live and pay back this loan. If you're going to school to be a neurosurgeon or an orthopedic surgeon or a dentist, I wouldn't say lawyer, you know, and it's necessary for licensing and what your salary is going to be when you get out. Now we're talking. But for a history, English teaching, no way. Yeah, I'd be curious how that's going to get funded. Oh, lockdown sucks. Oh, you're working, huh? Well, that's good. Hey, freaking Rican, how you doing? That's good. I don't really understand any of that. People talk like some of these people are getting like, I don't really understand it. Like you get unemployment and a stimulus check and you can get 41 weeks or something like that. I don't really know. I never really checked into it too much, but I think it's great that the government has responded rather than let just everybody die in the vine out there. I mean, that's what the federal government's for. It's supposed to help its residents. This is like a pandemic. It isn't like, just the whole world decided to not be frugal. Yeah, it has, Cinderella. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool. They say now it's $1.5 billion for a medicine to come to market from day one to getting it approved. Yeah, but I mean, it won't be the same for people like us. But if you're young and you didn't experience, I caught the tail end of the good days. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but there's got to be some safeguard for that $600 more for unemployment. I mean, there's got to be some catch if you don't go back to work. I mean, it seems like the employer could set something and say, hey, this guy doesn't want to go back to work. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Hey, at least you're working. Good for you. Are they going bonkers with cleaning at the school, or I'm assuming the school's closed, so seems like once you got it all cleaned up, there wouldn't be too much to do. Oh, did you, Stephanie? Good for you. Oh, good. Laura, why don't you get lost? You can go have a chat with you and your two friends. I thought you got your check from Pornhub. You got to learn to spell check, Laura. If you're going to do a fake ID, it's got to be a better one than that. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Huh. Daisy gets in a good mood. She chews a rawhide. What are you doing, huh? I think these people down the street are having a party. I don't think you're supposed to be doing that. Who is that, Daisy? Good girl. Who is that? Huh? Good girl. Yeah, they're not doing too hot down there. Yeah, not too hot. No money, you know. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to. You're not supposed to be having friends over, are you? Isn't that a violation of the distancing? Yeah, there's somebody that must live in West Branch, Melodic, or said that Walmart is people are getting it. I didn't hear anything on that, but I guess it's possible. Oh, okay, Zach. Okay. This must have absolutely killed Craigslist. 'Cause I don't think you're supposed to be buying stuff on there either. Yeah, pulling over randomly. The Supreme Court in Michigan's already ruled that they can run a plate for no reason at all. That's how they nail people up here with no insurance. So if you're driving down the road and they run your plate, it comes back to West Branch, and you're down in Michigan Avenue, they can pull you over and ask you what you're doing down there. Oh. Now, I noticed today, though, there is a lot more traffic out. I noticed today that Taco Bell was busy, McDonald's was packed. Yeah, I had them. I'll put it back on. I had them, but it was only an album with 2 songs. So I'll put them. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what I do. I drive like 250 miles a day. And we got an 8th grader showed up. Yeah, I'm pretty much photographed out. I don't have any new place to go. No, isn't that the truth, Zach? Yeah, you're right. It does. I feel the same way. Yeah, I'd like to come out. My parents were from Connecticut, actually. I would like to come out to Connecticut. Go get a pair of clippers at Walmart. Cut his hair, Cinderella. Congratulations on that house. That's nice. Good for you. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's a good time. You'd be surprised though. I mean, I had that happen where you get your first yard. You think they'd be out there running around all the time. They want you to be out there with them. You feeling good, Dave? You nice and cool, hon? Wow, look at that, huh? Good girl. Good girl, honey. Good girl. Wow. No, I just quit going there right before this started happening. I know the owners there, and it's just so poorly run. They have the crazy employees fighting all the time. I watch people walk out of there all day long, and I just got where I got tired of going in there. So I was looking for a new place right when this whole thing went down. So not really, no. No. I kind of feel bad for that Culver's. They had a big grand opening sign, the whole bit. Now all the signs have been taken out of the windows, and it's just an empty building with no signs. Yeah, it's kind of the size of the town I live in, Heather. Oh, really? That's too bad, Heather. Huh. Misspelled words where? Yeah, I won a long time ago. People talk about their fish sandwich. A lot of places, they don't even open on Sunday here now. It's nuts. I was looking up the NBA pay. I guess they're going to get one paycheck, one paycheck, and then they're going to reduce their pay. You'd wonder how that whole thing is going to work with no TV revenue. Yeah, it is. This is a construction company. They own 405 between here and Mount Pleasant. Hi, Alana. How you doing? I wouldn't want to own any business nowadays. Yeah. Where's that at, Tish? Yeah, you never know where that bus driver could have got it someplace else. That's the thing. You don't know where they're getting it. Yeah, I went to one a long time ago. It didn't really strike me as anything great. Hey, you are. How you doing? Yeah, shit, man, I can hardly stand another month of this. I mean, when I clean the garage, it doesn't get any more boring for me to do something like that. Oh, really, dollar bill? Huh. Oh, do I think? No, I think it'll be in check by then. I think it will. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Oh, yeah, there's a good, it's that Blues place. It's right on the Asaba River. Excellent barbecue. Now they got one big, giant pound-and-a-half beef rib that they cook that is really excellent, rather than the full rack of baby backs. It's like $25, but it's worth it, Zach. That's excellent barbecue. I'll tell you another good place is that place down in Pinconning, that Sporty's. They only have ribs like once a week, but those are excellent ribs as well. You want some good ribs, Zach? Go to that Satchel's out in Ann Arbor. Now, what is a JRE podcast? What is that? No, it's good barbecue. It is. It's nice, you sit down there along the water, but the service is kind of shaky. It's been that way every time I'm in there, but they got the one big beef spare rib. It's like a pound-and-a-half. It's like $25. It's excellent. Most places can't cook beef ribs for squat, but that's the one I get when I go there. Melodic, you have to, I checked into like doing things, but podcasts, I mean, they're more, it's like a legit production. I would like to do an internet radio station where we could have call-ins and stuff like that. But I don't know that I'd like the legit podcast, you know what I mean? Oh, you do go to Satchel's, yeah. I'll tell you another place that's good is that Red Bone down in Greektown on Monroe Street. Excellent ribs. Vicky's on West Warren sucks. I think Boneyard sucks too. I mean, it's okay. The same with that place in Lincoln Park. Zukin's sucks. Hey, Crossup, how you doing? I have had barbecue duck, yep. Excellent. Red Smoke, yeah, excellent. Yep. I throw in a little heavy metal. Good barbecue is hard to get, but that Satchel's there. I get the dry rub. I'll tell you who else sucks. This is just my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. Is that place down there on Michigan Avenue, Slows. You talk about some crappy barbecue. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I know where they were talking about. They commented on it. That's where you go up Dort Harway, and it's on the west side of the road. Looks like a filthy dump. I saw that, but man, I'll tell you, you look at that place, shit laying all over, dirty windows, crap all over the front window. I mean, as I get older, I roll the dice less on a food joint than I did when I was young. The thing about that Red Smoke is Red Bone, whatever the hell it is. It's hard to park down there. You ever get the barbecue south of Ford and Schaefer in front of the abandoned car wash? It's right on the River Rouge, Detroit borderline. He uses too cheap a meat for me for ribs, but I do get a red hot there and rib tips. I'd like to get that guy's recipe. It's the best sauce I've ever had. Nice guy too. They live up in Chesterfield Township. Yeah, Jenny, isn't that the truth? Yep. Famous Dave's the worst. Terrible. I don't know how they stay in business. Yeah, I think so too. It's he's out in front of, if you get on Schaefer, you go south past Fort towards Rouge, down about a mile on the right side in front of the abandoned car wash. Excellent. Terrible. Cheyenn's terrible. They own that place over in Tallis. It's just as bad. It is dollar bill. You're right. No, it's hit or miss. Usually on the weekends only, except in the summertime. I mean, it looks like you get ptomaine poisoning, but I haven't yet. You know, it's legit because the sauce is great and you get some white Wonder Bread. Then you can always take the chance of getting murdered and go into the party store across the street. Go to that Chinese buffet up in Saginaw. Chin's, I think it is. Yeah, I never eat down around Trenton too much. All right, Tish. Yeah, I miss staying down there in Detroit. No, I never heard it before either. My wife was from Fenton. I never go by that area. They got that famous bread making outfit. It's either Fenton or Linden. Oh, it does. Yeah, crust. Yep. Yeah, you never know. Barbecue. I'll tell you. I mean, it sounds cliche, but I've been to that Memphis Rib Fest a couple times. You know, like 100 places will be down there for a rib event. Really good. No, I don't know. May was saying she was pretty depressed. No, I never been there, Zach. No, she doesn't. No, I was trying to get her to start one. She was thinking about it for a while, but she couldn't really come up with a theme. I told her she should have We Were Swinging playing in the background when you click on her channel. Yeah, they look cool, don't they? Yeah, I love clouds. Yeah, May's really cool. Oh, big time. It used to be good back when Fred Roberta owned it. Did you know Tony at all? You know, his wife's running that Sugar Bowl up in Gaylord right now. That song that We Were Swinging. Oh, she did. I meant to email Dutch and I forgot to. Huh. No, don't worry about them too much, Jenny. A lot of them have hepatitis C, STDs, HIV positive. That's the least of their worry. I find it really ironic down there that they're concerned for this. When I look at the discard they have for typical hygiene. Yeah, still open. Yep. Yeah. She drives up there every day to run that place. Oh, okay. So you were there when Tony was getting busted for selling Kobe beef that wasn't and fresh fish when it was frozen. You remember those days? I think Willow Tree is barely hanging in there. I mean, nobody drives up to Gaylord to work when you don't have to. You really kind of left her in a lurch. Where's that at, your birds? Melodic, I'm wondering how the daughter that had cancer, how she turned out. Isn't that something, Jenny? Yeah. Huh. I got a ton of negatives, large format negatives from Ithaca, New York, from a photographer that worked for the paper there in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Frank Tranquilli was his name. Yeah, we're screwed up here as far as getting anything to eat. You know, you look at like restaurants that have a bad reputation for cleanliness, you would think with this new cleaning regime that people got used to, I got an idea the days of the dirty restaurant are probably over if they're going to expect to be around. I mean, you look at it differently than you did before. Melodic, have you tried that Angry Oven Pizza yet? Yeah, you know, for some reason I just never got into going to the Eastern Market. Yeah, I know, Jenny. Yep. Oh, it is, huh? Yeah, you know, they don't sell that many Big Macs anymore. People would rather get 2 double cheeseburgers. Premium sandwiches are down. Remember the QLT? Some of those. My problem with McDonald's is I don't think they serve the stuff hot enough anymore. No, I've been to them before. No, I don't. They're in Traverse City. Yeah, BLT. There you go. Hey, Christy, how you doing? I just got a sandwich here once. It seemed okay. That's not, it was like, okay, I didn't really go there enough to really make a valid assessment. I'll tell you another place that has barbecue that sucks is at Sparks in Traverse City. Plus, the guy that owns it is a total jackass. Yeah, it's true, Heather. Yep. Yeah, Kate's Kitchen. How do you know about that? They were trying to sell that. I knew Aaron Gillespie and his wife. And the daughter was running it, Katie, and I don't know what the deal is on it now. Yeah, I tell you, you got your work cut out for you, Zach. Oh, okay, Murray. Yeah, I couldn't tell you any good soul food places. That'd be fun to try. Now, if you're going to get a hamburger like that, the Big Boy up here, you can get a Big Boy, which is basically the same thing. And that thing is hot as hell, which is why I get one and not a Big Mac once in a while. Oh, did you really, Van Riper? No kidding. You know, I grew up there, don't you? I'm from Flat Rock. Lowe's sucks. That's my opinion. Go to that Red Smoke down in Monroe and Greektown, or Satchels in Ann Arbor. Excellent. Good food's hard to find. No, isn't that something, Zach? I'll tell you why. It's an old, outdated menu. No remodeling. Never come out with new specials. Yeah, I'm not a Coney guy. I think, how is one hot dog going to outdo another? Maybe it's going to have less eyeballs in it. I mean, everybody brags about Kogel's up here. I guess they're good. Yeah, they are going under those, Zach. That's for sure. I think Burger King is going to be the next one to go tits up. Yeah, I agree, Zach. That's how I look at it. Even Lafayette, it's not like they've perfected the hot dog. It's basically bologna put in a tube. Oh, those days ever. Better believe it, chili and anything. Yeah. Well, the spring papers are out tonight. I do know the Bobsceans, yeah. Jim, he lived across the street from me. Ethel, Lee, the mother, Mrs. Bobscene, was a truant officer when I was in school. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I remember when Lee was married to a real cute blonde. They ended up getting divorced. And then Jim, he never could pass the mortuary science test. I bet those Bob Seams got $30 million in the bank. Yeah, Burger King, when I go into them, particularly the one up here, they just seem really dirty. Yeah, there's some pretty good studies on carcinogens and flame broiled burgers. I bought a new Fry Daddy fryer the other day. I'm gonna cook some catfish tonight. I tried that bagged fish you can get in Walmart. Big bags of whatever, halibut, whiting, catfish. It sucks. It's got to be the lowest grade fish ever, bones in it. I didn't trust it as far as cleanliness, so I threw half of the catfish away. It just looked like bastardized cuts of fish rather than nice fillets. No, it hasn't, Zach. No, nothing's been sitting there 6 hours. It's not true. That's all timed. You wouldn't be able to even eat something after 6 hours. Most of it's cooked to order, by the way. It doesn't sit around like it used to. Oh, good for you, Heather. That's cool. Yeah, pretty much. It's hard to get good seafood. No, it hadn't. I'm serious there. I did know Glenn Coffin. Actually, I was good friends with Ray and Cindy. Sure did, yeah. Yeah. Couldn't believe that. I saw that on the internet. Was it Glenn? Which one died? Which son died? The one son was a state trooper. That wasn't Glenn, was it? I've seen that Iron Mike. Is that any good, Golek? It's all cooked to order at this one. You look, you don't see it sitting in the bins like you used to. The quarter pounder is fresh. It's not frozen. That's the difference. Yeah, Seattle. Yeah, you're right about that. I haven't been there in about 25 years. Was it Glenn? Which son died? Oh, yeah, I knew all the Hoffmans. I went to high school with Becky. I remember Glenn Sr. when he owned the gas station. And Ray and Cindy, they're living up in Kalkaska now. But the one young boy, the state trooper, he died of cancer. Oh, Glenn's the chief, huh? No kidding. Do you, and I guess the daughter's a dispatcher someplace. Yeah. Just order it with something different on it so you know it's cooked to order, Zach. Get what you like on it on the side and then put it on when you get it. That's one way of beating it. Beautiful night out. So I think I'm going to sign off here. I got to make something to eat and take a shower. Hope you guys have a good night tonight. Oh, Raymond died? Yeah, Ray, the little one. Yeah, the son. Yeah, Ray Jr. Yeah. Yeah, he died. Cancer. I agree, Zach. It's true. All the religious outfits cause that. Yeah, it's in the back, Robbie. Yeah, it is. I got 4 of them back there now. They really been going to town. I'll let them. I'll let them eat through the end May, and then I'll put the bird feeders away. They won't need it anymore. Yeah, I got it in the back. Yep. There's a cardinal that nests in that tree that you can see, that bush. That's probably the bird that's been flying back and forth. Okay, Stephanie. Yeah, you too, Jennifer. Put my phone someplace. I gotta find it. You guys have a good evening too. You too, Jennifer. All right, Mara, you too. See you, Zach. See you, Yor. Hey, Christy. I might be on a little later after I take a shower and eat and stuff. Zach, are you gonna be on here a while, Zach? Barely. You're barely. A long, long time ago. Yeah, I never used to go there though because it was kind of like off-brand pop. Yeah, I remember people talking about it. You could buy it by the case, but it was always like some off-brand type pop. Oh, no kidding. God, that was a long time ago. Whatever happened to that place? All right, Golik. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was too bad. Or Ray Jr. dying so young. Yeah, it's too bad. He was over on the west side of the state. They were good people, Ray and Cindy Hoffman. You know, Ron, he owns some McDonald's franchises. Ray's brother. I think he's out in Texas. Hey, Erica, how you doing? Yeah, I'm about ready to log off, Erica. Make something to eat. Well, you guys have a good night tonight. I might come on later as soon as I take a shower and do some stuff. So, hope everybody has a good night. Yeah, Captain Nemo's. I never went to the Flat Rock one. I always went to the one in Romulus. Oh, that's cool. I think that went out of business, the one in Flat Rock, but maybe not. All right, you guys, take it easy. I'll try and get on later. Thanks for chatting. Appreciate it.